On this very day,
Yeah.
29, 5 years ago, where have you been and what do you remember and how did you feel that day?
After the shooting, I accompanied Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and we went to Quebec City for the funerals of uh, of of those Muslims who were gunned down in the mosque in Quebec City, and we met with the families of those who were killed, and we promised them that our government will take action to make sure that we're fighting Islamophobia every single day. And designating January 29th as the National Day of Remembrance and Action Against Islamophobia is one of the things that has come out of that tragedy. Obviously, as a government, we have just announced today that we're committed to appointing a special representative to combat Islamophobia with the appropriate resources. Of course, over the next few months, we will be consulting Muslim Canadians to make sure that we get the structure right and the process for appointing, both the process and the result of appointing the special representative to combat Islamophobia is something that Muslim Canadians can have full confidence in. We've also committed to establishing a Victims of Hate Support Fund so that victims of violent attacks and vandalism, a lot of times hateful vandalism and hateful violent attacks can leave people debilitated. These attacks can leave lifelong scars if the victims cannot access the care that they need. So we are proposing to create a national support fund for survivors of hate-motivated crimes to help survivors with costs such as physiotherapy, medical equipment, paramedical services, mental health care. We already have contributed a lot to a general fund managed by provinces to compensate victims of all crime, including hate crime. But we also want to, moving forward, establish a separate victims of hate support fund.
Mr. Hussein, did your efforts manage to move Islamophobia needle a little bit considerably or fairly? And what can we expect in the future, sir?
Well, I mean, we're always monitoring, these issues closely. We're very much closely in touch with the community. In fact, last year, the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau held a national summit on Islamophobia, and the government of Canada met with the largest collection ever of Muslim Canadian organizations. And out of that summit, a number of recommendations came out. In fact, one of the recommendations, recommendation number 19, is what led to the government promising to create a special representative to combat Islamophobia. It came from that summit. It's a request coming from the community. I think we're continuing to make progress. For example, we have a really good program under Public Safety Canada called the Security Infrastructure Program, which is about enhancing the security and the infrastructure for securing places of worship and reflection as well as community centers. That program, we've increased funding for that program many times as a government, and I'm proud to say that that program is providing protection and enhancing the security infrastructure, things like video cameras and other things for places of worship, reflection, as well as community centers.
I remember last year as well when you had the summit, there was something also for the anti-Semitism. How is
Yes.
it going, sir?
Yes, absolutely. We also had a national summit to come on anti-Semitism, and there's a number of recommendations that have come out of that, including, for example, introducing new legislation to enhance the criminal code, to enhance the Canadian human rights infrastructure around hate speech, so that we can give more clarity to and more clarity to prosecutors and to courts around a definition of, or a tighter definition of hate speech, so that we are able to tackle this. It's something that both the Jewish community and the Muslim community and many others have expressed that it's something that we need to move forward on. It's Bill C-36. Canadians, they expect us to take action against hate speech and hate crimes. And so the amendments, Bill C-36 will amend the Criminal Code, it will amend the Canadian Human Rights Act, and it will amend the Youth Criminal Justice Act to address hate speech and hate crimes. And some of these amendments are aimed at empowering Canadians to take action against hate speech by assisting victims of hate speech, by holding individuals accountable for the hatred that they spread, and making sure that our online public spaces are safe, and protect and make sure that